I wake up with a wide yawn, blinking my eyes up, and I check the time and grimace. Need to get moving before I'm late. Leaping out of bed, I quickly change and get ready for school. Grab my stuff and race downstairs to grab some toast. As expected, both me and Erilynn have already left. Don't have time to sit down and eat, so I stuff the bread in my mouth. Slide my bag on my shoulder and head out the door. I barely feel the crisp morning air as I race towards school. When I reach the courtyard, there are a few lingering students outside. That means I've still got time. After entering the building, I reach my classroom and find my seat with my friends. A moment later, the bell rings. Phew, made it. Miss Sato takes her place in front of the room.
Good morning, class. Let's get started.
I focus on what we're learning, and soon the school day flies by. By the time all our classes are over, I'm ready to do something fun. Luckily, I have a club meeting today. So yes, this is the first time we'll see the club. I don't even know what I joined, to be honest. After packing up all my stuff, I say goodbye to my friends and head to the club room. On the way, I run into Daisuke. Hey, Daisuke.
Hey, you were just the guy I was hoping to see.
Really? What's up?
I've got some news to share with you and Erilynn.
That piques my interest. You had your breakthrough?
Yeah, but it would be better to tell you both together. I'm heading to the student council now. Are you free later?
Yeah, I'm free after my club meeting.
Great. Let's meet in the courtyard afterwards.
Sounds good. He nods, then waves goodbye.
I'll see you later then.
Bye. As Daisuke heads off, I continue down the hall towards the club room. My curiosity is burning, but I try not to think too much about what Daisuke might tell us. I'll find out soon enough. Right now, I should be focused on my club activities. Soon I arrive and greet my fellow club members. I leave the club room and make my way into the courtyard. My chest is tense in anticipation of the news. Wonder what kind of breakthrough he could have had. Did he meet another Velden? And I was expecting more out of the club, but hey. That might be early game content that was added. The courtyard is empty now that school is over, and I easily spot both Erilynn and Daisuke waiting. They greet me when I arrive. Hey guys, hope you weren't waiting long. Erilynn shakes her head.
Our meeting had just ended.
Did Daisuke give you any hints on what he wanted to share?
No, he stubbornly refused to share anything other than stating he had good news. He said we had to wait for you.
Daisuke grins as he turns to me.
Since you've been involved in this whole situation from the start, I thought it'd only be fair for you to be involved in this conversation as well. And now that everyone's here, I don't know the best way to say it, so I'm just going to be blunt. Erilynn, I can now take you home whenever you're ready.
There's a moment of stunned silence as we both digest his words. Erilynn seems hopeful but confused.
You can take me home? But how? Did you learn a new method of returning?
Not quite.
Her brows crease.
Then how can you take me back?
I'd arrange a portal for you.
Suddenly, Erilynn crosses her arms, her frown deepening.
Don't toy with me. We both know it's not that simple. If it were, either of us could have left at any time.
I glance back and forth. What's going on? Why is Daisuke being so evasive? He hesitates.
I'm sorry. I haven't been entirely honest with you about who I am.
This is starting to feel familiar.
I am Neil Lavin of the 2nd Royal Guard of Honor. It is an honor to serve you, Your Highness.
He salutes Erilynn, who stares at him in surprise. Okay, I'm a bit lost. What is that exactly?
I work for the branch of the military that is duty-bound to serve and protect the royal family.
Wow, sounds like a big deal.
It is. Only the trusted few are ever selected into the Royal Guard.
Erilynn raises a brow.
You've already lied about who you are once before. How can I believe that you aren't lying to us again?
I carry the insignia of the 2nd Royal Guard of Honor.
He reaches to show Erilynn the insignia. After viewing, she nods, relaxing slightly.
Only those in the Guard have access to the insignia, so it seems you're telling the truth. However, the 2nd Royal Guard of Honor? That would mean you work for my aunt.
That is correct.
Then what are you doing here?
I was sent here to provide you protection and ensure your safety while you completed the mission.
Erilynn's brows furrow.
What mission? Did my aunt send me here on a mission?
He nods.
Why? What possible reason could she have to do that?
He pauses.
I was only told what I needed to know to carry out my mission. It would be best for you to ask her yourself.
Yes, well, she'll certainly have a lot of explaining to do.
This whole thing is shady. This entire situation feels strange. I mean, why would Erilynn's aunt send her on a mission that she doesn't even know about? He shakes his head.
I don't know. I wish I could say more, but I was only given information on a need-to-know basis.
Alright, but if you were here as protection, why couldn't you at least let Erilynn know that?
I was under strict orders not to interfere. We all were.
All?
Yes, I wasn't the only one tasked with protecting the princess.
That's no surprise. Of course my aunt would send even more people to watch over me. After all, I am the heir to the throne. If something happened to me while I was here, it would be her head on the line.
Who else?
There was a reason why she was sent here to Matsukaze. It's because Emiko Meino lives here.
I blink, then laugh. What? Aunt Emiko is Veldin? That doesn't make sense. She can't be. Can she?
All I know is that she is a part of this operation.
I fall silent, my mind rolling with questions. How is it possible that Aunt Emiko is connected to Veldin? And what is she doing in Matsukaze? Maybe she's just human diplomat or something. All this is unclear. Erilynn puts a gentle hand on my shoulder, surprised by how well she's taking this.
I'm sure Aunt Emiko will explain everything once we're home.
Yeah.
I know this was a lot to take in at once. I'm sorry that I had to keep the truth from you, but now that we can escort you home, it was time you learned the truth.
And when will we be returning?
Your aunt would prefer you to return as soon as possible.
Well, I'll need a couple of days to wrap things up and say goodbye. After all of the support and kindness I've been shown, I can't just disappear without saying anything. If my aunt has a problem with that, then she can take it up with me herself.
He nods.
Yes, Your Highness.
He glances at us, then smiles softly.
I won't keep you two any longer. I'm sure you have a lot to talk about.
He says his goodbye and then leaves. For a moment, Erilynn and I are quiet, still processing everything that was said. Are you okay? Like Daisuke or Nil or whatever his name is said, this is a lot of information, and I don't know how much he said is true.
I trust that he's telling the truth. As hard as it is to believe, it would be impossible to acquire the Veldin Royal Guard insignia if he was not a part of it. Since he mentioned Aunt Emiko, we should ask her if she knows more.
Yeah, let's head back. Aunt Emiko can probably add more context if she's really involved. Erilynn nods in agreement, and we cut across the courtyard to exit the school gates. We remain quiet as we walk, each of us still processing what we learned. Erilynn seems convinced that Daisuke is telling the truth, but how can I believe that Aunt Emiko is Veldin? It seems so far-fetched. I shake the thoughts from my head. Guess we'll find out soon enough. As the house nears into view, I wonder if my aunt and uncle will be home. They're usually still at the bakery at this time. Finally, we arrive home. After entering the house, I see Mina hanging out in the living room.
Oh, hey!
Are Aunt Emiko and Uncle Hachime here?
Mom's in the kitchen, but Dad's still at the bakery.
I glance at Erilynn, who looks back at me. Mina glances between the two of us, her brows furrowing.
Why?
I glance at Erilynn again. Should we tell her?
Why do you keep looking at each other? What's going on?
Before I can respond, Aunt Emiko pops her head into the room and graces us with a warm smile.
I thought I heard voices in here. I made you all a snack if you're hungry. Did you kids have a good day at school?
We'll let Erilynn handle this. Although Aunt Emiko is my family, all this Veldin stuff affects Erilynn more directly than it affects me. I'll let her take the lead on this. Erilynn nods.
Yes, although we learned some very interesting news today, which we'd like to discuss further with you.
Aunt Emiko's brows furrow in confusion, but her smile remains.
Well, of course, dear. You can talk to me about anything.
How about the fact that you're actually Veldin? Aunt Emiko acts surprised.
Veldin? What's that?
Mina bursts out laughing.
What? That's crazy! Did you hit your head or something, cuz?
I shake my head. It's okay, Aunt Emiko. You don't have to pretend anymore. Nil told us about you.
Nil? Ah, I see. So it has been revealed.
Aunt Emiko smiles softly while Mina looks on blankly.
Wait, you know what they're talking about? What's going on?
They're telling the truth, honey. I am from Veldin.
No.
Mina pauses, waiting for the punchline. When it doesn't come, her brows wrinkle together.
Wait, you're serious?
Aunt Emiko nods. She gestures for us all to sit down.
I didn't expect to have this conversation now, but I suppose there's no better time than the present.
Mina scoots over to give her mom space on the couch, and Erilynn and I settle on the nearby chairs.
I assume this means that you'll be leaving us soon then, Erilynn?
That seems to be the case, although I'm still unclear as to why I was sent here in the first place.
Aunt Emiko chuckles.
Ida will explain everything. Don't worry.
Who's Ida?
My aunt.
You're on a first-name basis with Erilynn's aunt?
Wait, hold on.
Mina, who had been strangely quiet, suddenly shoots up from the couch.
Erilynn, you're leaving?
Yes.
How? When? And what does my mom or your aunt have to do with anything?
That's right. Mina wasn't around to hear Daisuke's explanation. Of course she's confused, and we just threw a lot of information at her at once. Well? Erilynn and I catch Mina up to speed on what we just discovered. As we talk, she flows through a range of emotions from surprise at Daisuke's actual real identity, to frustration that he lied yet again, and disappointment regarding Erilynn's close departure date. When we're done, she slumps back into the couch, slowly shaking her head.
This whole thing is crazy, and it's all happening so fast.
I know.
And Mom, you're a part of all this craziness.
She nods.
Ida asked me to look after Erilynn as a favor, and I was happy to do so.
Did she tell you why, though? I feel like that'd be important to know.
I certainly wish I knew. Although I'm sure my aunt will tell me it was just for my own good.
Wasn't it? After all, I've watched how you've matured into a fine young lady with your short time with us. Don't you feel like you're now a little more prepared in your role as heir apparent?
Erilynn blinks. She pauses, mulling over Aunt Emiko's words.
I can't deny that there is truth to that statement. However, if maturity was the goal, could I not have achieved that same goal in Velden? Why did she have to send me here without any preparation or warning?
Aunt Emiko laughs.
You know as well as I do that Ida's methods have always been unique, but effective. Everything was always sink or swim with her.
Yes, but that doesn't make it right.
It's clear that while Erilynn reluctantly agrees, she's not happy with the situation. I'm sure when she goes back, she'll have some choice words to share with her aunt. It's all speculation anyway. We don't actually know why Erilynn was sent here. Aunt Emiko is just guessing.
Yeah, but you can still have an opinion on if it's right or not. I think it's a bit harsh to send someone to literally another world no matter the reason.
Thank you, Mina.
Especially if she could have learned the same thing while still in Velden.
I assume Ida knew that Erilynn would still get preferential treatment in Velden where the people all knew who she was.
Aunt Emiko makes a good point. After thinking it over, both Mina and Erilynn reluctantly agree.
Wow, Mom, it sounds like you know Erilynn's aunt super well.
Oh yes, that's what happens when you do your service together. She was so impulsive, and it always got her into trouble. It seems like she hasn't changed a bit.
Aunt Emiko melts into a nostalgic smile, her eyes sparkling in memory.
Service? What? Like the military?
That's right, honey.
Mina's eyes grow so wide I'm afraid they'll pop out of her head.
No way! Did you ever have to fight someone?
Sometimes, but only when there was no other option.
Did you ever have to fight a bear?
She wasn't in survival training.
No, honey. Nothing quite so overtly dangerous. I was in reconnaissance.
Ooh, like a spy.
More like intelligence gathering.
That's kind of like a spy.
If you were in reconnaissance, then how did you meet my aunt? I know that was not a part of her service.
Ida and I were bunkmates during basic training, and remained close even after our paths diverged. I wanted to see what more was out there beyond Velden. It just happened that my longest tour was spent here on Earth.
Is that why you stayed?
Not exactly.
She giggles.
I found it quite mundane here. Velden technology is more advanced in many different ways.
That definitely tracks with Erilynn's first impressions of Earth. Aunt Emiko breathes out a dreamy sigh.
But the longer I stayed, the more I could see the beauty in simplicity. And then I met Hajime. At first, I didn't understand him at all. I thought he was so short-sighted. There was this great big universe just waiting to be explored, and all he wanted to do was stay in the small town that he grew up in with the family that he loved and bake.
She barks a short laugh.
I never thought I'd fall for someone like him. But somehow, that gentle man with the kind eyes and flower always in his hair completely swept me off my feet. And the more I fell for him, the more I realized that his dream was perfect.
Mina cups her face in her hands, smiling broadly.
Aw, Mom, that's so sweet.
I can only hope that my story can be so cute.
Me too.
Mina sighs.
Although I think my ship has sailed since I've got Kosei.
Yep, sailed and sunk. Erilynn remains quiet. When she finally speaks, her voice is small.
How did you make the decision to leave Velden?
I can feel the weight behind her question. In some ways, Antimiko's story is similar to Erilynn's.
It wasn't easy, but there wasn't much left for me there. My parents had both passed away, and my friends had grown into their own lives. Plus, I spent most of my time traveling anyway.
Does that mean Uncle Hajime knows that you're Velden too?
Of course, dear. I told him as soon as I knew I wanted to spend the rest of my life with him.
Aww.
Mina squeals, then suddenly blinks.
Wait a minute. If Dad knew, then how come you never told me?
I did, honey.
No, you didn't. I think I'd remember if you told me I was Velden.
I did, honey. We did. Don't you remember when you were a little girl and I'd tell you that you weren't like any of the other kids?
So the voice track there was messed up.
Yeah?
You were special. And one day, when you were ready, you would do things and go places that nobody else here could ever imagine.
Mina pauses, then gasps.
Oh my gosh. That's what you meant by all of that?
Of course, sweetie.
I thought you were just saying all of that. You're special because you're my mom, and you have to tell me that.
Nope. It's because you're Velden, honey.
Do my parents know? Antimiko shifts uncomfortably.
Well, you see, when we decided that we needed to tell Hajime's family, it didn't go exactly as planned.
What happened? Antimiko laughs nervously.
They didn't exactly believe us, and thought we were joking around. Given what we were saying, I can understand why.
Yeah. She turns back to Mina.
That's why we didn't outright tell you that you're Velden. We wanted you to have a fun childhood, and to feel like you belonged. So, we decided to wait until the time was right to tell you.
I guess that makes sense. I mean, if I hadn't met Erilynn, I don't know if I would have believed in Velden either.
Same here.
But it's official. I'm half Velden.
The reality seems to finally sink in and she grins.
Oh my gosh! I'm half Velden!
Erilynn sits straighter and smiles warmly.
I'm not surprised. I could always feel that there was something more elevated about you.
Do you think that's why we get along so well? Wait!
She pauses.
Does this mean I should be calling you Princess Erilynn?
Too late now, off with her head.
No, that won't be necessary.
Are you sure, Princess?
Just Erilynn will suffice.
Isn't this what you always wanted, Erilynn? For someone to recognize your birthright?
No, I wanted you to recognize my birthright.
Yeah, cuz. Show my princess some respect.
Erilynn shoots Mina a look, but there's a smile on her face.
Well, honey, I'm relieved that you're taking the news so well.
Emiko,
The front door shuts. A moment later, Uncle Hajime appears.
Emiko, what are you still doing here? I thought you were coming back to help me.
Oh, Hajime, darling! We were just talking about you.
Oh, good things, I hope.
Mina shifts, leaning her body on the arm of the couch.
Dad, guess what?
What?
I'm half Velden.
Uncle Hajime is clearly startled. He blinks and his mouth opens and closes, but no sound comes out.
Oh, yep, you sure are, kiddo.
He gives Antimiko a questioning look.
I thought we were going to tell her together when she was ready.
Sorry, darling. The conversation came up sooner than we anticipated.
She smiles apologetically and shrugs.
I can't see that.
Uncle Hajime, does that mean you knew Erilynn was Velden this whole time too? He pauses and glances at Antimiko, then the two of them burst out laughing.
I'm sorry, kiddo. I don't mean to laugh. But a foreign exchange student just randomly shows up at the house with no prior notice, no luggage, and the day before school starts.
He laughs again.
Also, if your parents did set up a foreign exchange term, they'd of course tell us about it. Before you ask, no, they don't know about any of this.
Antimiko giggles.
And Sweden, honey?
Sounds kinda like Velden. They glance at each other and devolve into more chuckles. This makes way more sense. Yeah, it does make a lot more sense that you two knew from the start.
It was a valiant effort anyway.
Thanks, I guess.
Plus, we had to have all the paperwork and credentials already prepared for Erilynn to transfer to your school. One does not simply show up to school and get accepted on the same day.
I'd wondered about that, actually. This explains a lot. When their laughter subsides and they finally catch their breath, Aunt Emiko stands.
All right, this has been a lovely discussion, but we need to get back to the store.
Yep, our break can only last for so long.
Aunt Emiko looks at Erilynn.
When I return, please ask me any questions you may have. I'll be happy to answer them as best as I can.
Thank you.
As the two of them depart, I hear Aunt Emiko filling in Uncle Hajime on what he missed. Mina stretches on the couch.
Well, this has been a lot.
Yeah.
It surely has been.
Mina turns to me, grinning.
I can confidently say that I am so glad to learn that I'm Velden, because that means that I'm not actually related to you, cuz, and your weirdness is all you.
You're only half, which means you're still half related to me.
Sorry, I can't hear you. Anyway, I've got to go reevaluate my life, so I'll talk to you two later.
Are you okay?
Totally. But what else has Mom told me over the years that I thought was just generic mom stuff, but was actually code for being Velden?
Fair point. Mina gives us a small wave before going upstairs. For a moment, Erilynn and I sit in silence, neither of us really knowing what to say. So, I guess you're really going back then?
Yes.
There's a reluctance in her voice, and I can guess at what she's thinking. What does that mean for us? She's quiet. Erilynn looks down at her hands in her lap.
I don't know.
Her voice doesn't sound anything like her. She sounds small and unsure. I mean, you can come back, right?
It's possible, but challenging. And the opportunities are very limited. I don't know when I'd be able to return.
But you will come back.
Yes. As soon as I can, I will.
Then I'll wait for you. She shakes her head.
That's not something I could ask you to do.
That's not something you asked for me to do. That's something I do. Her smile is fleeting as she looks down.
I don't think you fully grasp the situation.
It's basically just a long-distance relationship. People make those work all the time.
A long-distance relationship survives because communication is still possible. When I return, we won't be able to communicate at all.
I pause, soaking in her words. She's right. It's not as if she'll have cell phone reception back in Velden or internet that connect back to Earth.
It could be months or maybe even years before I'm able to come back. How could I expect you to put your life on hold for something that is so uncertain? I care deeply for you, and that's why I believe
Oh, so you have one last chance to break it off. We'll make it work. Everything Erilynn says is right. My brain screams at me to listen to logic and reason, but losing her means losing my heart too. I can't let her go. I don't want to. We'll find a way. Erilynn lifts up her head.
Did you not hear what I said?
I heard you, but I'm not ready to give up on us.
Our situation is impossible.
Nothing is impossible. It seemed impossible that a girl could fall out of the sky, and yet you did. And it seemed impossible you'd find a way to get home, but you made that happen too. So, as impossible as the situation may seem, you're Erilynn Dawn, and you make the impossible possible. Silence, but then a small smile lights up her lips.
It'll be hard.
I know.
And I truly don't know what will happen next.
Do you want to be with me?
Of course I do. Why would you even ask that?
I smirk. Then that's good enough for me, because I know that when Miss Dawn wants something, she'll make sure she gets it. She blushes and her smile stretches across her face. A brightness returns to her eyes.
You are absolutely correct.
She leans into me and I wrap her in a hug. I feel a renewed strength and fire within me. Nobody said it would be easy, but Erilynn is worth fighting for. Eventually we pull away. She smooths out her skirt before standing.
There is still much that I need to take care of, so I'll take my leave now.
Yeah, of course. After one last smile, Erilynn turns and heads upstairs. My chest feels light and airy. Hope flutters its wings, lifting my spirits. This is just the first obstacle, and while I know there's more to come, I also know that I made the right decision. My mind is swimming, and I feel mentally drained. I head up to my room and collapse on my bed as I process everything that's happened so far. all feels like it's going so fast and I fight to keep up. Eventually my eyes grow tired, and I pass out for the night. I blink my eyes open and groan as I sit up. Another school day. As I push myself out of bed and get ready, my mind is still reeling from everything I learned last night. Aunt Emiko is actually Veldin. The thought still takes some getting used to. I gather my things, my mind wandering. Wonder if Dice will act differently now that we know who he really is. The last time he revealed his true identity, he wanted to keep things the same. But this time he seemed really different. Once I'm ready, I head downstairs and go into the kitchen. To my surprise, Mina is still there.
Morning, cuz.
Good morning. I didn't expect to see you here. She sits at the kitchen table munching on some toast. I think I'll have a slice and join her.
No swim practice this morning, which meant I could sleep in a little.
She stifles a yawn. Then why do you seem like you haven't slept at all?
I stayed up late chatting with Mom. I want to know all about my newly discovered heritage. Also, who would have guessed that Mom used to be so cool?
What new Veldin powers do you have? Discover any hidden Veldin powers yet?
Not yet, but there's still time.
You could always ask Erilynn what to expect.
That's true, especially now that we're practically related.
I'm not sure that's how it works. Speaking of which, I glance around. So, where's Erilynn?
Oh, she left earlier this morning for student council.
I nod. I'm sure she has a lot of loose ends to wrap up now that she knows she's going home. The thought makes me pause. It still doesn't feel real. Mina seems to sense my thoughts and falls quiet. We finish up breakfast and she checks the time.
We should get going.
I nod. We clean up the kitchen and then grab our bags. Once we're ready, we set off for school. I pull my clothes tight around me to protect against the chill. My thoughts continue to race. My mind is so far away that I don't know how I'm going to focus in class. Before long, we cross through the courtyard and enter the school. Finding our classroom, we take our seats next to our friends. Kira and Kosei are both here, but Erilynn hasn't arrived yet. Hey guys.
Hi.
Morning.
Kira blinks.
Erilynn didn't come with you?
I shake my head.
Oh man, she might actually be late. You two were already cutting it close.
What are you talking about? We still got a couple of minutes.
Kosei stares at Mina.
Who are you and what have you done with Mina?
What? It's true.
Yeah, but anytime I've ever said that, you tell me that barely counts as on time.
Finally, Erilynn runs into the classroom. She breathlessly slides into her seat.
Excellent. I made it. Are you okay?
Yeah, why are you so out of breath?
Yes. It's just been a very hectic morning. In fact, it's directly related to the important news I would like to share.
Mina and I exchange a glance. I think I know exactly what she's going to say.
What is it?
Before Erilynn can answer, Miss Sato enters the classroom.
I'll tell you during lunch.
We nod and quiet down while my classmates settle into their seats.
Good morning, class. Let's begin the lesson.
I open my notebook and prepare to take notes. As I expected, I'm distracted throughout class and have a lot of trouble paying attention. I do my best, but when the bell releases us for lunch, I breathe out a sigh of relief. Grabbing my lunch, I follow my friends into the courtyard where we'll have some privacy. We'll settle down and unpack our food, and then we begin eating. Erilynn soon puts her chopsticks down and clears her throat.
First off, I'd just like to say that I'm so grateful to have met each of you, and to have made such wonderful friends.
Kira blinks in surprise while Kosei barks out a short laugh.
Geez, Erilynn, why so serious? Are you leaving us or something?
As a matter of fact, I am.
Kosei laughs again, then pauses. His brows wrinkle as he studies Erilynn's serious expression.
Wait, for real? You're leaving? As in leaving?
Does this mean you found a way home?
Erilynn nods. She fills her friends in on her conversation yesterday with Daisuke, or Nil, who he really is, and why he was sent here. Silence reigns once she has finished.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's a lot to take in.
I hope our separation isn't too long, but I can't predict when I'll be able to return.
You can't just magic yourself back there?
That's definitely not how it works. If If it were so easy, then she could have gone home at any time.
Kosei sighs.
Yeah, I know. I was just hoping maybe it'd be easier after she goes back.
I wish it were so, but I promise that I will visit once I'm able to.
Still, this is good news. You finally have a way back home. You can see your family again.
Yes, I've missed them, and missed Velden very much. Although I've grown quite fond of Matsukaze, I know I can't stay here forever.
Our gazes meet and Erilynn offers me a soft smile.
At least for now.
Nobody wants her to stay as much as I do, but this is the reality of the situation. Kosei looks back and forth between me and Erilynn.
So, what does that mean for you two?
Erilynn and I talked about it last night and we decided to try to work things out. Sounds crazy trying to keep a relationship between two worlds, but she's worth it. I take her hand in mine and she squeezes it, smiling softly.
I know that we'll find a way.
Kosei nods.
I'm rooting for you, my man. You know I'm always in your corner.
Me too. You two are so cute. You deserve to be together.
Yes, I hope the best for you too.
Thanks, guys. I mean it. A pause settles over the group. Suddenly, Mina stands up.
We can't spend our last few days together wallowing in sadness. We need to make sure Erilynn has the best final days ever here in Matsukaze.
Kosei jumps up to join her.
Yeah, we gotta do this properly. Send her off in style. A goodbye party she'll never forget.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's not a bad idea. Kira turns to Erilynn.
When is your last day?
I've got the rest of this week to wrap things up, but I'll have to leave once the weekend is over.
Alright everyone, clear your schedule for tomorrow night because we're going to sing our hearts out for Erilynn.
That's perfect, Mina! No better way to say goodbye than with a heartfelt ballad.
Karaoke does seem fitting.
Erilynn smiles.
I have not done this karaoke before, but if it involves singing, then that sounds fun.
Everyone else is cool with it, so I'm in too.
Good.
The bell rings, signaling the end of the lunch period. We quickly pack up our bentos and head back into the classroom. Erilynn and I fall into step together. I think that went pretty well. Everyone was understanding.
Yes, I'm relieved. I was worried our friends would be upset.
We all knew that this would happen someday. At least, now you have a party to look forward to.
That is true. I'm most looking forward to the romantic ballad that I'm sure you'll be singing for me.
She smirks. Well, it's a good thing this takes place in Japan, you know. The 8th Amendment means I'm not allowed to sing. Soon we return to class and slide into our seats. Miss Sato walks to the front of the room and we begin the next lesson. The rest of the school day flies by. I feel a little bit better after our conversation during lunch and I have an easier time focusing, but I'm still relieved when the dismissal bell rings. I shoot to my feet and quickly pack up all my stuff. Then I sling my bag over my shoulder and exit the classroom. Everyone is busy with clubs and meetings, so I head out of the school and begin my walk home. I feel drained from the day and hurry my steps. I can't wait to get home. As soon as I reach the house, I kick off my shoes and head to my room to relax. I flop onto my bed and play with my phone for a while. Before I even realize it, my eyes are drooping and I soon drift off into a short nap. I wake up when I hear the shine of the front door. Someone's home. Wonder who it is. Find back a yawn, I scrub a hand down my face and push myself to my feet. Comb my fingers through my hair as I exit my room and head downstairs. I arrive just in time to catch Erilynn taking off her shoes. Hey, how's your meeting? She lets out a long sigh.
So very long. I'm absolutely exhausted.
I know how you feel. I was so tired today that I had to take a nap. Erilynn pauses, raising a scolded brow.
Are you feeling ill?
I don't think so. As soon as I say it, I feel a small tickle in my nose. Achoo. Erilynn's eyes widen.
I knew it! You are ill!
No, it's just a sneeze.
Nonsense. You need to rest.
I'm sure someone's just talking smack about me somewhere. She urges me into the living room and pushes me onto the couch. No, really, I'm fine. And then the second sneeze. Why is my body betraying me like this? Erilynn shakes her head.
You certainly don't sound fine to me. Stay here while I make you some tea.
Grabbing a blanket, she unfolds it and tucks it tightly around me. Is this really necessary?
Yes. Now don't move.
She hurries into the kitchen. Even though I feel fine, tea does sound pretty good right now. I decide to wait. The blanket overheats me, so I peel it off and set it to the side. When Erilynn returns, she sets down the steamy mug on a coaster, then eyes me angrily.
Just what do you think you're doing?
Nothing?
Why did you remove the blanket? Are you trying to remain ill?
No, I just don't need it.
Of course you refuse to listen to me. It's like you don't see me as a caregiver.
Suddenly a light bulb seems to shine over her head.
Oh, I have just the thing for such an occasion. Wait right here.
I'm having flashbacks to the movie Misery. I better pretend to be sick or else. Before I can respond, Erilynn dashes out of the room. I hear her race up the stairs. Just what is she up to? Guess I may as well wait and find out.
Perhaps now you'll take my suggestions more seriously.
My eyes grow wide as saucers when I see the fitted pink nurse's outfit she wears. The buttons struggle against her ample chest, and the hemline reaches just long enough to cover her modesty. Can't control. This is too much to handle. My face flushes into a deep blush. I feel like I shouldn't be allowed to see this, yet I can't look away. Suddenly, Erilynn blinks. Her mouth curves into a surprised circle. What? I feel a trickle of wetness coming down my nose. I quickly wipe it away with my hand and see a dark red stain. She blinks again, looking down.
This must be more serious than I thought.
Then she looks back at me.
Not to worry. I'll be sure to fix you right up.
She sits down beside me and I pretend not to notice how smooth her thighs look in her stockings. Immediately, she places a hand on my forehead.
You do feel a bit warm.
It's the blanket.
Clearly this outfit has overdone it. I should have known better than to wear it while you're in your fragile state.
Huh? No, the outfit is fine. It's more than fine. But my protests fall on deaf ears as Erilynn dashes away just as quickly as she had arrived. She's acting so erratic. She must really be worried about me, but why? A few minutes later, she returns wearing her usual clothes and sits back down beside me. Then she resumes fussing over me. So, when exactly did you get that nurse's outfit?
Oh, the last time I went shopping. Did you know that there's a whole store dedicated to specialized clothing? What a marvelous idea!
Did she visit a costume shop? Why exactly did you buy this outfit?
It seemed much more useful than the school uniform one the nice man at the store recommended. After all, I already have one of those.
Just what kind of store did you go to?
Shh.
Erilynn places a finger to my lips.
No more questions.
I feel the heat rise in my cheeks at her touch.
Now, let's see if my changing did anything to lower your temperature.
Her hand returns to my forehead and her brows knit together into a small frown. She places the other hand into her forehead in comparison.
You still feel warm.
Immediately, she rips off the blanket and her fingers begin unbuttoning my shirt. Whoa, what are you doing?
Cooling you down, of course. It can be dangerous for your temperature to be too high.
Aren't you supposed to use a cold compress for that or something?
This is faster.
Erilynn's finger leaves dots of fire wherever it touches my skin, and I can feel my heart hammering in my chest. Before my shirt is even off, her frown deepens.
Is your heart rate elevated too?
Wow, is my heart pounding that loudly? She leans in and places her ear against my chest. This is not how you take a pulse.
Hush. Let me listen.
I quiet down, still bewildered. I try my best to calm down, but Erilynn's touch doesn't make it any easier. Her methods may be unconventional, but I can't deny that they aren't unpleasant. A moment later, she pulls away. Concern laces her voice.
Your heart is beating so fast.
I'm sure it's not that fast.
It certainly is. Listen to how much faster it is than mine.
Before I can react, Erilynn pulls my head into her chest and I fall into two impossibly soft pillows.
Can you feel it?
Must not troll. I can't feel her heartbeat, but I can certainly feel something, and that is amazing. I need to get sick more often.
Well?
Nope, not yet. I think I need to stay here a little longer. Erilynn sighs.
No matter. You will just have to trust what I say.
Oh. She gently peels me off for a while I try not to let my disappointment show.
Now, let's get you changed out of these clothes and into something more comfortable.
Huh? How will that help?
You don't want to wear your germ-ridden clothes while you're still ill.
Just what kind of medical practices are they teaching in Velden? This is starting to get out of control. I don't understand why she's trying so hard to push this all on me, especially when it's obvious she's never done this before. Erilynn, are you okay?
Of course. I'm perfectly healthy. In fact, I should be asking you that.
I'm okay, really. She's quiet for a moment.
I suppose that means that you don't need me to take care of you.
There's something in her voice that makes me think this statement is more than it seems. There must be a reason why Erilynn's suddenly feeling so overprotective. I didn't say that.
Perhaps that's for the better. After all, you'll need to take care of yourself when I'm gone.
I fall silent as I process what she says. It all makes sense now. With Erilynn leaving soon, this is her way of trying to remain close to me and show me she cares while she's still here. I don't know how many more moments we'll have together like this. So I should enjoy it while I can. I had the smile threatening to creep on my face and pretend to cough. Actually, you may be right. I might not be feeling as well as I thought. It's a good thing I have you to look out for me. Erilynn blinks, then she breaks into a grin and flicks her hair back.
Just as I suspected. In that case, I know just what you need to feel better.
Oh yeah? What is it?
Some rest.
She scoots down on the couch, making space. Then she gently lowers my head onto her lap. A soft smile grows on my face as I close my eyes. I think I'm feeling better already. In response, Erilynn gently strokes my hair.
I thought as much.
We remain like that for a while, and I find myself completely relaxed in her presence. Erilynn seems happy to fuss over me, and I'm happy to allow her, no matter how weird some of her requests may be. Eventually it gets late and Erilynn needs to go to bed. She has an early morning tomorrow, even though it's the weekend. As she returns to her room, I return to mine. It's been a long day. Finish up any homework that's due and then decide to have an early night. After washing up and changing my clothes, I slide into my bed feeling the cool covers blanket my skin. I soon drift off to sleep.